This week on Superlift's Off-Road Adventures, we're bringing you coverage from the final round of the XRRA West Coast Division in Cortez, Colorado. And later on, Trent stepping it up in style with a piece of adventure gear that no lifted truck should go without. So stay right where you are, because it's all coming up next.
Welcome once again to the show with the most insane off-road action on the planet. Today we've got coverage of the third and final West Coast XRRA event in Cortez, Colorado. It's a battle of the big dogs as drivers like Shannon Campbell, Rick Dermo, and Poison Spider's Aaron Dusenberry clash their rigs against Cortez's wicked boulders. So let's get on over to southwestern Colorado, where the mayhem is about to unfold.
Deep in the desolate regions of southwest Colorado, there lies a spot where only the bravest of off-road pioneers dare to venture. Here in the tiny town of Cortez, the best of the best in the rock racing world have assembled to take on the third and final course of the XRRA West Coast Division. As we made our way toward Cortez, a storm was brewing, both in the sky and on the rocks.
It's a good course. It's a fast course. It's a really good course. Got a great crowd out here today. It's awesome. Got a little bit of rain, but we'll just deal with it.
One by one, the crowds arrive, ready to brave the wrath of Mother Nature for a chance to see the race of a lifetime.
This is great. It's a good day. The weather's close, but it's holding out for us, and these guys are giving it all like they do every week. It's a good time.
This year Cortez is a lot faster course, a lot quicker. The other one was a lot more technical, more rocks. This course is a lot more towards the rock racing rather than the rock crawling. A lot better course, in my opinion.
The drivers and spectators all agree. This year's Cortez course leaves last year's in the dust. We found driver Jeff Mello and asked him how things were going for him today in Cortez.
It's going pretty good. I got one more to finish, and I'm going to do it, dang it. Rig's running. We took a hard hit on the wheel up there, but that Baja KTR just took it. We're hanging in. This is my turn that bit me last time. I'm going to get through that first. Then more about that big rock over there. Try and keep cool, and everything's going to turn out okay.
I'm loving this facility. They've done a lot of work to it since we were here earlier this year, and it's turning into a really nice place to come wheel. I love how safe it is for the fans up here. Everybody's uphill from the track. Chuck's got berms over here built. Track's fast and fun and rocky and hard, depending on where you're at. So it's cool stuff.
I had a good old time. My first 4 laps in a single day at XRA. I'm happy with that. We're going on the trailer with the motor running and the tranny intact. And I'm hoping to get it out for the finals. Woo!
Nice driving, Jeff. We look forward to seeing you there in Colorado Springs.
This venue is a good mix of off-camber, technical rock crawling, and high-speed thrills.
This is the best of everybody right here. You cannot screw up.
These drivers are totally stoked to be competing here in Cortez. Let's see if we can't track down XRRA promoter Mike Weaver and ask him what he thinks of the course out here today.
Mike, it's a fantastic Western Division final. These guys have just gone off. The crowds are fantastic. The day of wheeling has just been unbelievable. Couldn't ask for more.
Mike, the crowds and drivers are pumped to be here today. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day for rock racing. On the mic today, keeping the crowd up to date on every driver's run, is Jeremy Perriott of BFE Films. Jeremy, why don't you fill us in on what's happening so far in today's rock race?
Okay, well, so far what's happened today is Rick Dermo put himself out of contention, and it was like one of the biggest upsets of the day. It really hurt me inside. Even though I love the other guys, I just don't ever want to see somebody go out that way. However, I know that Shannon's going to have some kick-ass runs, and I know that Rob's got some runs to finish up, so there's still going to be some competitive stuff going on.
Thanks, Jeremy. We found Rick Dermo and his crew in the pit area, trying their best to piece together the rig and finish out the remainder of today's runs. Dermo's spotter, Rick Gersh, gave us the details of their unfortunate run of bad luck in the first round.
Hey, we're just replacing an air locker. Another third member, we're sticking that in. We'll be done in just a few minutes, ready to race. Happened on the first run. I don't know what the deal is, but we got another one. We got a spare, so I think we'll have plenty of time to get going again. Lost an ARB again and couldn't make the climb. So we're tearing it apart, pulled the axles out, putting a new third member in. Gonna see if we can get it going. We should make the next race. So, but that put us way back in the points now. That's racing, that's part of it.
Well, the Dermo team managed to get the air locker situation fixed, and Rick was back at the starting line ready for another round. Rick, what's your main objective on this upcoming run?
Got to lay down a fast time. It's all about beating Shannon's time now.
Rick Dermo started the run with a great takeoff, followed by a crowd-pleasing jump. But when it came time to climb the first obstacle, last year's Cortez champion was at a standstill.
Broke throttle cable. We're done. Here, I can undo it right here. He's trying to just cut it. Oh.
Just under 3 minutes.
Oh.
Just under 3 minutes.
And they're cutting the radio cord to tie up. Wrap it around that a couple times so it stays on that. Come on, Rick, get him in there.
Nice.
2 minutes.
Okay, let's clear back, guys. They're fixing to fire up.
Well, after some quick fix ingenuity by spotter Rick Gersh, Dermo was back up and running, racing to cross that finish line as fast as he could.
We got it.
You've got to hand it to these guys. They absolutely refuse to give up without a fight. It's true competitors like these two that really drive the overall spirit of the XRRA. Don't go anywhere. There's more unbelievable throttle action coming your way from the West Coast XRRA Finals, so stay tuned. Welcome back. Let's get over to Cortez, Colorado, where the XRRA West Coast Finals are starting to heat up. Up next on the starting line is the monster of the XRRA himself, last year's overall champion, Shannon Campbell.
Trying to take it easy coming around them turns. That thing bites so good coming around there. It wants to bicycle up.
Not even the lightning in the sky could compete with Shannon's speed out here on the course as he races over the rocks toward the finish line.
I was afraid I was going to have trouble climbing that little wall there, but it shot right up it. And I guess we did pretty good time.
That unbelievable run from Shannon Campbell earned him a time of 53.63. He and spotter Mike Palmer should definitely be in the running for the top spot here today.
We got to have a monster before that. That's pretty good.
Rob Bonney's been a force to be reckoned with all season long, and he's had 2 great runs already here today. Bonney took first place at the last event held here back in May, and he's hoping for a repeat performance from that day. Watch closely, though, as the banner gets hung up on his rear sway bar and snaps in half. That's going to cost him dearly. If not for that mishap, Rob might have finished the day at the top. Unfortunately, a 5-minute time penalty for breaking a banner knocks out any chances of a top-place finish. Tough break, Rob. Driver Brad Lovell. Brad's also been a top contender in this West Coast Series, and today he's driving his pro-modified Ford Ranger like he wants to take it all. Brad's motto when he's competing is always, always, always be consistent. And today his driving has proven to be just that. Consistent driving on every run so far assures Brad a top spot in the standings at the end of the day.
Yeah, there's some adrenaline on that one, I must admit.
Another level out here on the course today is Brad's older brother, Roger. Roger's driving today hasn't been quite as consistent as his brother's, and we caught up with him in the pit area to give us the scoop on his runs so far at Cortez.
Took a hard hit on the jump and trying to get it back together, see if I can make another round. Just not my day. There's a suspension mount underneath that took out the drive shaft and broke the fuel cell. So I don't have brakes, I don't have fuel, and I don't have a drive shaft. But do everything I can to get it back in gear and going again. Just working hard and fast.
Although it looks like he won't be placing towards the top today, Roger sure gave the crowd one heck of a show. Roger's motto in competition is be safe and have fun. And no matter what happens at the end of the day, Lovell Rock Racing has succeeded here in Cortez. Well, the best of the West are all eyeing the prize, but only one can leave Cortez a champion. Who will it be? You'll just have to wait until next time when we bring you the conclusion to XRRA Cortez. But first, Trent's in the garage with a piece of adventure gear essential to any truck with a lift.
Running around in a lifted truck is a good way to stand out in the crowd, but living with a lifted truck on a day-to-day basis can get kind of tedious, you know, jumping in and out of it as you're running your errands all day long. Well, one answer is to install a set of tubular side steps, but you know what? They hamper ground clearance and they make the truck look shorter. Of course, conventional running boards are just out of the question. So what's a guy to do? Well, a company called AMP Research is kind of a think tank for all things automotive, and they tackled this problem head on. And their answer is quite possibly one of the coolest products that I have ever seen. Now, these are AMP Research's power steps, and they're distributed through Bestop. That's right, same guys that make the Jeep soft tops and other truck accessories. Now, these things fold out when you open the door, allow you to get in. And when you shut it, they retract and practically disappear. Now, the kit itself includes everything you see here. We have the running boards, the retractable arms, power motors, and a wiring harness. First step is to get the truck up in the air and mount up these arms. Now, the first step in the process is to locate the supplied template according to the instructions. Then we're going to drill some 1/8" pilot holes and then drill them out further to 21/64. We have the pivot arms mounted up. Now there's a couple of support brackets behind here that you're going to have to do some drilling. But before you do that, you need to remove the kick panels inside because there's some wiring you need to move out of the way so you don't drill into it. Now everything is just finger tight for right now, so we're going to mount the running boards, align them front to back, and then tighten everything up. Okay, well we've got the running boards all mounted up, and I've attached the motor that should have been installed in step 1. But oh well. Now we need to lower the truck to the ground and address the wiring. Well, the wiring is really simple. All we did was mount this control box down here where it's out of the way, and then we grab power and ground right here at this junction block. Now when you're routing the wiring, you need to be sure to keep away from anything hot or anything that moves. Then we're going to route them to the motors and it's back underneath the truck to hook them up. We have the wiring plugged into the motors. Now there is one wire that you have to poke through a factory rubber grommet in the floor. Now this wire taps into a factory wire located under this door lock switch here, so that means pulling the whole door panel off. There. Well, taking this door panel off took a little bit of doing, but even more so was fishing this plastic tube that is supplied with the power steps through this rubber accordion sleeve in the door. Now this wire taps into the gray-black on the switch harness here. And you want to be sure and route this wire along with the harness so you can be sure it stays out of the way of the window rolling up and down. Now we'll get this tapped in, and then it's time to button everything back up. Oh yeah! Those work just perfect, and really the installation is bad. The worst part is getting into the door panels. Now believe it or not, these things are rated at up to 600 pounds per side, so you don't have to worry about them feeling a little bit wobbly. Now they're available for most late model applications through Bestop. Now, living with a lifted truck day to day isn't a problem, even for a short little guy like myself.
Now that's what I call a step up from your normal lifted truck. When we return, Trent's going all out on Superlift's new Ultimate Tow Rig. And you're not going to believe what he's got in store for this little jewel. Welcome back. Let's get back to the garage where Trent's about to build up the Ultimate Tow Rig.
Now, most off-roaders own some sort of tow rig. Now, if you're a company like Superlift Suspension Systems, well, you tow a lot. Now, of course, most tow rigs serve a largely supporting role. I mean, they have to haul you and all your gear, and most of them can stand to have a few accessories added to help further enhance their utility. Well, that's exactly what we've done here. We're trying to create the ultimate hauler out of this F450, and we've added a few key accessories to help it do its job better. So let's take a look at what we've done. Now, suspension-wise, we haven't done a whole lot yet, and we have added Superlift's dual gas steering stabilizer system to help take some of the shimmy out of the road. We've also added a set of Superlift's high-quality SS shocks, which are manufactured by Bilstein. Now, up front, we've added a brand new Warn Power Plant Dual Force HD. Now, this is a 12,000-pound winch and an air compressor that provides up to 100 psi. Now it's mounted on one of Warn's heavy-duty brush guards. And while we were at it, we also added a pair of Casey's 57 series driving lights. Now these will augment the factory floodlights. Best of all, we wired them to an auxiliary switch bank that Ford provides on the dash. And now for what makes a truck, the bed. Now, job one for anyone that actually uses the bed of their truck is to get a high-quality spray-in bed liner like this one from ProCoat. Now, the spray-in liner helps protect the bed and prevents rust, but the texture also keeps cargo as well as your feet from slipping. Now, you will be faced with this dilemma. You need safe, secure, and weatherproof storage in the bed of your truck, but you don't want to give up a lot of usable bed space. Well, our answer was this combo over here. We went with a narrow toolbox from UWS. Now it's only 12 inches wide rather than the usual 24, but that left us with enough room to mount a retractable hard tonneau cover behind it. Yet we still have just over 6 feet of usable storage space. Now this narrow UWS box still has plenty of room for everything you're going to need. Now it features fully welded aluminum construction, has divided tool trays, and heavy-duty gas cylinders. Now the lid has even been injected with structural foam to increase rigidity. And we also ordered it in black powder coat to match our overall Darth Vader theme. Now, Superlift has had Pace Edwards retractable bed covers on several of its pickup trucks, and no other bed cover would do for the 450. Now, this is the electric version called the Bed Locker, and it operates via a remote control key fob or a dash-mounted toggle switch. Now, the bed cover itself rides in rails that bolt, not drill, to the top of the bed sides, and water seepage is prevented by the patented silicone hinges between each panel. Now, this particular bed cover was special ordered from Pace Edwards due to the toolbox and the odd 7-foot bed length, but the end result is one giant trunk. We've also positioned several strips of track-type anchor points from Max Custom Tie-Downs. Now the tracks attach to the bed via countersunk stainless steel fasteners, and they have these spring-loaded anchors that you can position anywhere you need them. Now the anchors are rated at 700 pounds regardless of the pulling angle. In addition, Max Custom Tie-Downs also offers various tie-down kits that include their axle straps and their ratchet straps, which are rated at 10,000 pounds, all in one convenient duffel bag. And that brings us to the rear bumper. Now the factory bumper is substantial, but we needed something really substantial. After all, I've seen the way the owner of Superlift drives, and you didn't hear it from me, but the man could wreck a steel ball in a rubber room. But anyway, this behemoth is Tough Country's deluxe unit that features an 8-inch drop, and it's constructed out of 4-inch steel pipe that wraps around the corners of the bed for extra protection. Now, Tough Country also offers bumpers with a 10-inch or 12-inch drop. This drop also aids in getting into the bed with the tailgate up. Now, several options are also available from Tough Country, including provisions to accept the factory reverse warning sensors. Boy, I pity the poor guy that runs into that thing. Whew. Towing heavy loads means correspondingly heavy trailer tongue weights, and that's why most big trailers use a gooseneck style hitch. Now, there are a variety of different designs out there, but we opted for this one from B&W, primarily for this reason. Say you want to get rid of this ball. Well, just pull the lever, which is accessible from the driver's side wheel well, pull out the ball, flip it over, and voila, you have a completely flat, unobstructed bed floor. Now the hitch itself bolts to the truck's frame, and the only modification to the bed is a 4-inch diameter hole for the ball socket. Now B&W's fifth wheel attachment operates with this same socket design, although this unit is completely removable from the bed, whereas other designs leave all or at least a portion of the hitch in the bed. Now this is one clean setup. Lastly, in order to tow something, you must have a hitch, but inevitably your truck's hitch height does not match that of the trailer's, and of course trailer ball sizes will vary. Now there are several different adjustable hitches on the market, but this is one of the neatest I've seen. Now this is the tow and stow receiver hitch from B&W. These are the same people that make that innovative gooseneck hitch. Now the welding and finish on this thing is simply amazing, and here is how it works. For height adjustment, the receiver base can point up or down. Now further adjustment is made by mating the ball carrier to the appropriate pair of holes. This model has 3 different ball sizes, 1 7/8, 2 inch, and 2 5/16. Rotate the machined assembly to the proper ball size and then pin it. Now here's how the Stow and Go got its name. When you're not using the hitch, you just unpin it, rotate it around, and repin it. That way there's no hitch sticking out for you to whack your shins on. Less pain, less scar tissue. Who's not for that? Well, that about wraps things up for the modifications that we've made to this truck so far. Now, we do have some other stuff in store, some powertrain modifications, perhaps a little audio-visual equipment, and some other cool functional stuff. But for right now, I am going to go tow something, preferably very heavy. Hey, anybody around here need a house pulled down or anything?